What's going on, guys? Hope you guys all had a great weekend. Back for this Monday slate. We have a 10-game slate for tonight. Looking like a pretty fun slate, so let's get right into it. As always, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Pitching-wise, we do have a couple of aces on the hill. A couple aces that are facing off against each other with Kluber and Porcello. But personally, I like Zach Wheeler at 9,300. You get a decent savings off of him from Garrett Cole and some of the other guys at the top. But Wheeler has flashed just as much upside as of late. He has just been killing it. He didn't have it in his last start in Baltimore, but he still managed to get 15. So even if he's off, he's still able to put up a decent score that won't kill you. He will never usually get rocked because he gets a lot of soft contact. He gets a lot of ground balls. He's just a good overall pitcher, and the Giants are just a very, very weak team against righties. Like, nobody in their lineup scares you against right-handed pitching, and Wheeler has just been very, very good lately, and I think that will continue. So at 9,300, I love Zach Wheeler today. Second pitcher I like is the rookie making his debut, Steven Gonsalves at 5,400. We get a nice price on him at 5,400. He is a legitimate prospect facing off against the White Sox. A great team to make your debut against, as the White Sox strike out just so much. And he has been so good in the minor leagues against both sides of the plate. Like, he's held opponents to just a 184 batting average, just a 283 slugging percentage this year. As you see, he's actually been better against righties than lefties, which is a good thing because the White Sox have a bunch of righties, and I think that's just a good spot where he can coast. He's only allowed 76 hits in 120 innings with 120 strikeouts, so averaging a strikeout per inning, that's perfect. Has good prospect stuff, projects to be one of the Twins' better prospects, and at 5,400, I love the price on him. I'm going to take advantage of it in a good matchup against the White Sox. And then today, it's pretty easy, I believe, the teams to stack. I like the Brewers stack. I think the Astros are a very good stack, and the A's might be a bit sneaky stack against Bartolo just because the weather is not great. It's supposed to be under 60 degrees, and they're playing in the Coliseum, but any team against Bartolo is a good stack. So at second base, I like Travis Shaw at 4,700. Now, I'm going to be loading up on the Brewers. It's a very easy matchup against Homer Bailey. The Brewers lineup top to bottom. It's just so much power, so many guys that can hit one out. Shaw is another one of those guys who's been awesome against right-handed pitching this year. Does not strike out against righties and just crushes it against them. Against righties this year, Travis Shaw has hit a 47% fly ball rate. So he's going to hit it in the air most likely, and if he does, it's going to be a lot of hard contact, as he has a 40% hard contact versus righties, and Bailey just doesn't strike many guys out, only 14% on the year, and Shaw only has a 16% K rate against righties, so the ball should be put in play, and if it is, I like a good shot that Shaw can take one out. Next up, at third base, I like his teammate Mike Moustakas, another guy that does not strike out at all against righties, very little amount, only 15% K rate, and Homer Bailey should not be able to strike him out. As I mentioned, his K rate is very low. Moustakas has been a beast against righties all throughout his career. He has another guy that hits a ton of fly balls against right-handed pitching with 48.8% this year fly ball rate. Homer Bailey throws the fastball so much, 45%, and both Shaw and Moustakas crush the fastball with over a 200 ISO for each of them. So I like both of those guys as a couple lefties against Homer Bailey. Right in the middle of the lineup. They should have a good shot to have big games, both of them. At shortstop, give me Alex Bregman at 4,700. I want to get some Astros against Felix Hernandez, who we've seen it. He has declined big time lately over the past, the whole season, but it's been a lot more pronounced over the past month, especially as we get near the end of the year. He's probably getting tired. His arm is probably getting tired. His velocity's been down a little bit. Bregman's been heating up at the plate. And he's just, right now, without Altuve, Bregman is just the best overall hitter on the Astros. So, sign me up for him against Felix. It's a righty-on-righty matchup, but Bregman can hit both sides of the plate well. And Felix Hernandez has been equally bad to righties and lefties. So, I like Bregman at 4,700. And last but not least, I'm going to spend up for Chris Davis in the outfield at 5,000 against Bartolo. Chris Davis is just so much power with him. 2 more home runs last night, up to 36 on the year. He's a guy that nobody talks about. We hear so much about JD Martinez and his home runs. We hear a lot about Jose Ramirez and his home runs, but we don't hear a lot about Chris Davis. And He flies under the radar, which is a shame because he's just such an exciting player to watch when he comes to the plate. Against Bartolo, it's a simple matchup for him. He crushes right-handed pitching, a reverse splits hitter against a pitcher that struggles against righties, gives up so much more home runs to righties and lefties. It's a perfect recipe for Chris Davis. He also is one of the few, if not the only, a hitter that actually hits better in the Coliseum because Davis's power can hit a home run at any ballpark, no matter the conditions. And at 5,000, he might be a little lower owned in this spot with his price tag. But he can easily hit 2 more home runs against Bartolo and just finish with 35 to 40, and just, you'll be celebrating if that happens. So those are the plays for tonight. Give me some Brewers, give me some Astros, give me a couple A's, and it should be a good night tonight. Hopefully they all come through. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Good luck today.